powerful song, isn't it? Even as Ted was singing it and as Pat was playing the acoustic, you could feel everybody here kind of coming together. And it was like our thoughts were kind of being channeled in a unified direction, the direction of yesterday. And even though the song is still done, those feelings, at least for me, are that they still linger a little bit. Yesterday came suddenly. What a simple and yet powerful song. And get this, the tune for that song came to Paul McCartney in his sleep. Can you imagine, you're in bed and you're dreaming up the tune to hit singles that'll make you millions and millions of dollars? I mean, can you imagine? I mean, some people have life so difficult. The tune came to him in his sleep. But simple as the tune may be, in 1999, the BBC in England said that this was the most powerful song of the 20th century. The most powerful song in 100 years of any genre or category of music. And then in the year 2000, so 10 years ago, both MTV and MTV and Rolling Stone magazine named the song Yesterday the #1 pop song in the history of rock and roll of all time. Since its release in 1965, and for those of you who are young and think I'm old, that's like almost 5 years before I was born. Since its release in 1965, this song has been the most covered Beatles song of all in the catalog of Beatles music. It's been covered by famous people like Elvis and Ray Charles and Frank Sinatra and even Boyz II Men. I don't even know who Boyz II Men are, but anyway. In Yesterday, McCartney wrote a simple and yet powerful song. And this morning, I'd like to take McCartney's lead in delivering a simple and I hope and pray powerful message. Because I think sometimes the greatness of Christmas and the Christmas message can get washed away or pushed aside or ignored by all the complication that we bring into it. And if you agree with me, I think this season's got enough complications already. So this morning's talk is going to be just simple and straight to the point. What is it about this song that connects? I think what connects people when they listen to the song Yesterday is the fact that it articulates or gives expression to a universal human reality. We all have yesterdays. Can I share something embarrassing?
Yes.
Because it has to do with me. I don't need your permission. I'm in the office this week, and one of you comes to the office to pick something up, and you have a son. This person has a son who hasn't been in our church for 6 years. Now, this church is almost 8 years old. We're going to have our anniversary in 2 months, or a month and a half. And her son hasn't been in our church for 6 years. And he's surfing the net, and he goes to our newly redesigned website, and he sees new pictures of me, and he said, "That's Daryl?" Now, that would be perfectly okay if he said, "Wow, that's Daryl?" But it was more like a, "That's Daryl?" Anyway, I don't know why I told you that. I guess because I'm not the same as I was yesterday. I'm getting older, and someone discovered that who hadn't seen me in 6 years. Now, I don't know about your yesterdays, but mine are mixed. And if I was a betting man, I would think that your yesterdays are a mixed bag as well. If I look at my life, I have to acknowledge that there are painful memories from yesterday. There are things that, when I listen to a song like that, and you hear Paul McCartney talking about a broken relationship, I can think of brokenness from my past, brokenness that's back there. But overwhelmingly, the feelings and the emotions that I have from my past are positive, and they're ones that I want to hold on to. And so that song also evokes that. So it's kind of this mix of emotion, good emotion and bad emotion. Can I ask a favor of someone? Yeah, thanks, James. I don't want to listen to that mall lady when I'm walking in the halls, let alone when I'm here. So there's a door in the back. He's going to shut it. Okay. I think where yesterday is concerned, our mind has a way of playing tricks on us. Where yesterday is concerned, our mind plays tricks on us. I think as the years go by, our good memories from the past, they wax, they get bigger, and our bad memories from the past wane. In other words, they kind of get pushed in the background and less prominent in our minds, and we tend to forget about a lot of the bad memories. To illustrate that, remember that hill you used to toboggan down as a kid? How big was that hill? Have any of you ever gone back to the hill that you tobogganed on? I mean, when you're a kid, it's huge, even if it's just the little ditch in front of your house before the road or whatever. You're not supposed to have your kids there, but we didn't wear helmets either, okay? As a kid in Barrie, growing up in Barrie, Ontario, I remember that one of my highlights when I was about Eric's age was I had a paper route, and I would take $4 or $5 on the weekend, and I would bike downtown. And I would go to a pizza place, and I'd pay for a slice of pizza for like $1 or whatever. And then I'd go to the arcade and play Galaga, all right? It's like Madden 11, except a little bit different. And I used to think that bike ride downtown was like, it took like half the day. Like it was like 10 miles. And then about a couple of years ago, we were there with our kids, and I drove from where we lived to the downtown. It's not even 2 miles, all right? So I was a big wimp. But, and another illustration of this, you know, my dad was awesome, and we had great bonding time as a kid. And sometimes he would take me hunting and fishing. We lived in northern British Columbia during my high school years, and you got to hunt to survive for all of you PETA people. So we would go hunting and fishing, and if you would ask me, you know, did your dad take you hunting and fishing all the time? I'd say, you bet, we went all the time. And then if I pause and I think about it, I'm like, okay, well, he took me hunting twice. And we went fishing maybe 8 or 10 times max, right? Usually I'd be going with my friends and so forth. Like everything else in childhood, it kind of grows as time passes. It kind of gets larger as the distance between me and the event increases. Which is why so many of us remember yesterday different than it really was. And I think this holds true for many of us when it comes to how we remember Christmas. I think we remember Christmases of long, long ago different than they really, really were. Today, most people remember Christmas different than it really was. Maybe we've been influenced by too many cute Christmas commercials, right? Where mom and dad get everything that they're buying for the kids at a discount price, right? And where the kids open their gifts and they get every gift right. You know, it's exactly what you were dreaming for and hoping for, and everyone lives happily ever after. Thank you, Canadian Tire. They tend to overlook the fact that when we were young, I think overall, across this crowd, times were tougher and wallets were tighter, and we didn't have as much discretionary money available to us. And we forget the fact that Mom's Christmas was always so stressful. Because Mom really was the one, right? She took the ball and she did the primary preparations, and she was the one who was so preoccupied, obsessed with having everything just right, with everybody opening the gifts. I was like, yeah, that's right. And we forget that Dad was often a little bit detached during Christmas. He snored a lot, and he sat in a chair a lot, and we forget the fact that for Dad, this was like his first break from work since Thanksgiving. And so he's just exhausted. He's like, you know, oh, it's a PS3, you know. And us kids, we weren't little cherubs in flannel pajamas. We were rotten. We were impatient. And I don't care what day you open your gifts. We used to open them at crazy times because my dad's a pastor, and we didn't open them on Christmas Day or anything. But we were always so impatient. And any of you ever go to your presents under the tree before Christmas and kind of peel off a corner? Or sometimes you can kind of slit with your thumbnail a little piece of the wrapping paper, and you can, looking at the box, you can kind of tell if you're getting what you wanted or not. Any of you do that? Me neither. Never, never, never. And it isn't just our family Christmases that we remember different from what they really were. We tend to do the same with the Christmas story.